Hi, this is an art analysis and evaluation of Stemyrla pork. Alright, I created Stemyrla pork earlier on today. And, I conjured the term Stemyrla pork for a reason. I did it with reason. And in that, what I do with food is it serves as a part of my motivation. And really, in all honesty, and I'm Canadian, my motivation is women. And I do the things that I do as a result of the women that I have dated. With that, I proceeded to create Stemyrla pork. And Stemyrla pork is a dish that hasn't been tasted before. But essentially, Stemyrla pork consists of roasted sesame, which has a distinct flavor, very very distinct, delicious, delicious, delicious. You can mix it up with some sugar. You'll find some delectableness in it, delicious. And then I mixed the roasted sesame with some butter and some taro, some sweetened taro, and there have you the sauce. And in the sauce, I was just like, yeah, let me taste the sauce. There was a hint of garlic. Yeah, I put it in there. Some oil, onions, and the taro sweet, and the roasted sesame. Delish. Super delish. I set it aside, and I proceeded to deep fry the pork. I could have used any other carcass meat for this, but I decided on pork today as a result of the fact that I wanted to consume pork. So with that, I deep fried the pork till golden, and I was like, you know what? Yeah. I remove it from the oil, and then I mix it in with the sauce, and then I was like, all right, let me give this a taste. And I was like, oh, yes, this I find is delectable. And I stood there for a minute or two, and I was like, oh, what am I gonna refer to this? And I thought about my motivations, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll refer to this as Stemyrla pork. Stemyrla pork is a specific artistic term, a work of English art in terminology. A specific English art. Most people, they don't value the language of English, but really, the language of English is regulated in the University of Oxford in England. And the University of Oxford in England has been operating in since 1802. And I'm kind of like an alumni, but that's not the point. The point is that I conjured Stemyrla pork, and it's not what the Stemyrla pork looks like, and it's not what it is. It's specifically the word Stemyrla. Stemyrla is a specific piece of art. And when I break down the word Stemyrla, what does it mean? Stemyrla, it means my motivation. I have dated several women, and really, in all the women that I have dated, what I have noticed is that women, they look for specific abilities and qualifications in order to determine whether or not they'll be a good fit for someone. The longest relationship I ever had was 2 years, and in that relationship we persisted and continued to argue and debate and debate. I have good traits, and I kind of do the right thing, and I kind of did, and with that, I know what I'm looking for, and when I know what I'm looking for, I kind of grasp it. And me and my previous ex, we dated for 3 years, and we broke up twice, and I continued and persisted to grasp and hold her in the way that I want, because my best friend does that to his girlfriend, and I do the exact same thing, and I'm not as pushy about it as he is. I'm actually very nice, and I'm actually very kind, and with that, I continue and persist to do what it is that I do. And yes, we did break up, but I do still love my ex. I really do. I love my ex dearly. And she ran away because she loved me, and she still loves me, whomsoever she might be with. She probably perceives that she's in greener pastures, but I do what it is that I do, and I hold a certain degree of responsibility as a result of her, and she knows that if she ever experiences any difficulties or hardship, she can come back to me, and I have to be there to support her and provide her with some sort of a support, because I dated her, because I'm responsible and she built that in me. But that's not the point. The point is the art. The art is the word Stemyrla. Stemyrla is a specific word for food. Food. I kind of make food. And the food that I created and conjured today, unbelievably delicious. Unbelievably delicious. Super delicious. Hits the palate on so many levels. Unbelievably delicious. Pardon my French, but that's not the art though. The art is the specific word Stemyrla. Let us break down the word Stemyrla. In my lifetime thus far, I have dated several women, and I have loved and had fun and played with every woman that I have dated. It was fun every time. I played every time. And I'm the one that's hurt as a result. And these women, they're dating whomever. And I'm the men's rights activist saying that, babe, enough is enough. And I need to go to the right help to get me to the place that I want to be. Women, as a men's rights activist, yeah. They do what they do. But, in that, they don't see what men go through and what men experience. Men like me are men's rights activists, and My ex and me debated and argued about this, and I keep explaining and explaining and explaining. I don't like to explain, but you know, I mean, it's embarrassing and shameful for me to explain. You know how shameful it is for me to explain this? You know, to be the person that my ex wants me to be. Very, very fucking shameful. Think about it like this. You're dating someone, and that someone persists and continues to sleep around, and you have to go to your parents with that person, and in that encounter, what are you feeling? Precisely the way that I fucking feel. You know, precisely the way that my ex tortures me. She's so fucked up. Very, very fucked up. And, you know, I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm the men's rights activist. Telling her that she needs to go and do something because this is fucked up. But anyways, let's move on to the art. The art is the specific word, Stemyrla. And like I previously stated, the English language is likely organized in England in the University of Oxford since 1802. All right, what does Stemyrla mean? Stemyrla is symbolic interactionism for the exes that I have dated. Let us go through every ex that I have dated. Okay? Let's start with Ste. Ste means Stephanie. With Stephanie, I would go to her house after school, and we would go and do and chat and talk and flirt, and we would go and do the things that we do. Her parents were there, and you know, I mean, the parents were all right with me, and we would be engaging in various activities, making food, sending one another notes via mail, you know, and expressing how we're on the fence, trying to determine what it is that we feel. It's always like this with me, you know. What is it that I feel, Steph? What is it do I feel? You know, I mean, what is it? What is it that you feel? You know, I mean, why are we experiencing this? For what reason? You know, I mean, there must be something, you know. And, you know, I mean, with Stephanie, I did what I did, you know, and I was like, all right, Stephanie, after you, I'm going to this person's house, you know. So I would go to school, and then after school, I would go to Stephanie's house. And sometimes her friend Jordan would be there. And Jordan's alright. I mean, his mom's pretty hot, but you know, I mean, like he's alright. You know, I mean, like I rather like the dude, but he has kids now and a wife, and you know, I mean, the wife's banging. That's not the point, but you know, he was around. You know, and we had some sort of some similarity, and you know, I rather like to do it, but you know, he would be there sometimes, but it was really about me and Steph, you know, and her dad working at a specific important place, and I was just like, yeah, of course, Steph, and her sister would be there, and I'd be like, oh yeah, your sister's here. How about you, you know, and you know, I'm in this for you, and Yeah, so with this, I was just like, I thought about this. I thought about this after all the notes that we sent one another on posts, and I was like, we really only sent one or two notes on posts, but I mean, really, if you're sending someone special notes on posts, it's pretty much like dating, right? And I mean, I really do like her. She was like one of the women that I was like, oh yeah, babe. I like you, but I'm working on something right now, and I'm working to rectify this and this and this. Just give me and permit me some time to rectify this, and most women don't understand the male problems. Male problems are something that are taboo, and it takes a while to rectify male problems, and it's just like, I persisted and continued to date Steph, and I really enjoyed her. I really did. I enjoyed going to her house. I enjoyed her friend Jordan and her sister. Her sister would be like whatever, but and her parents were there. Her dad was working some sort of a serious job, and I was like, Steph, I have to go and tend to another thing. So after Steph, every day after school, I would most days go to another female's house, and that was Kaylee. I go to Kaylee's house, and it was Marla, her mother, that permitted me to persist and continue to engage with beautiful Kaylee. And I mean, Kaylee, I really love Kaylee. We did a lot of things, and me admitting that I have feelings and emotions back then, means that I might be a bit vulnerable, but me and Kaylee did a lot of things. We would go to various places. We worked at some call center, and it was all right. And then we would be strolling around, looking for new things to wear. We would be strolling around Holt Renfrew, trying to determine what it is that we like. And the reason why I went to Holt Renfrew is because I liked her body. I like her body. Her body's she's pretty hot. I really like her body. I still to this day like her body. And that's the reason why we went to those places, so as to determine how those things would look on her. And with Kaylee, I was partying all the time, and in the partying, there were various feelings. I felt a lot of things. I perceived a lot of things. And you know how it is when you party. You get lost. She gets lost, and you stray away. And in the straying away, you look back and you're like, gosh, what the fuck happened? And I'm doing just that, I don't know what happened, but she's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing, and I still yet love her, and as a result of my most recent acts, I have a responsibility to be able to provide for her in the event that she is in hardship. But I rather do have feelings for her, and that's the fact. But Kaylee, her mom, Marla, permitted me to engage with her, and that's the reason. I mean, I engaged with her, and I did what I did, and we both learned a lot, and we both grew and developed, and that's what's important. And with that, things happened, and we did what we did, and we moved and did things that we both don't know of. But I mean, I don't know what to say. But I mean, really, what am I going to say about this? I mean, all I'm gonna say is that I mean, if there's cohesion, if there's a cohesive, I mean, the cohesive in me is that I still have feelings for this specific woman, and she's doing what she's doing right now. And what am I supposed to feel? I don't want to explain to you what it is that I feel. I mean, especially with what it is that I think she's been up to. But I mean, regardless, I still love her. I have feelings. I have perceived feelings. She's always telling me this and this and this. And she knows precisely what I mean. I mean, she really was like consistently saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm feeling feelings." It's like, she knows what I mean. Like, I like and love her. I perceive to like and love her. What I mean? She's my bestie. But I mean, moving on. So it was her mother, Marwa, that permitted me to engage with her. She was all right. I mean, I rather still to this day have feelings and emotions for her, and she always wanted to move, and essentially she did move, and she moved very far away. I don't know how she did it, but I mean, good on her. Now next, Stemyrla. We got Amy. I dated Amy for 1 to 2 days. This broad, I dated her because she had a nice face. And, I mean, she had a nice face, but she had some pretty thick thighs. And I was like, alright, I had to choose between Stephanie and Amy at that time. And I was at Sam's. I had to choose between Stephanie and Amy. And I rather like Stephanie. I mean, I chilled with Stephanie all the time, and Stephanie makes me feel some sort of an ease. But Amy gave me some sort of an excitement, and that. So I was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to choose Stephanie or Amy to hold hands with? I liked both, I really did. I love women, and if I could choose both, I would have chosen both, and I was like, sure, I'll date Amy whilst hanging with Stephanie and considering the fact that there could be me and Stephanie. But I persisted in dating Amy, and I was seeking the right relationship, and Amy didn't provide, I mean, she was being she was just being one of those women that are very, very negative. I mean, I dated her for 2 days, and we held hands, and it was just that, I mean, she didn't take it seriously, and women, they're supposed to be nurturing. When you're a woman, you're supposed to be nurturing, and you're supposed to be trying to nurture the male. You know, some women don't understand, but you know what I mean. But you know, that's not the point. You know, Amy, you know, I dated her. She had a nice face. You know, she had thick thighs. She was all right, and you know, she dumped me after 2 days for a piece of meat. And I was just like, all right, you go and do what you do for that piece of meat. And you know, I was like, all right, Amy, have fun. No, and I was like, yeah, all right. Amy did this, and I did this, and I still have Stephanie, and Stephanie is just like, yeah, you're so stupid. You're stupid, Deb. You're especially stupid. And I was like, gosh, thanks. Thank you very much for thinking that I'm special needs, Stephanie. And so I moved on from Amy. She went and persisted to date that female piece of meat, and I was just like, all right. I mean, yes, yes, Amy. I do what it is that I do. With that, I move on. And, you know, I mean, thus far, there was Stephanie, Amy, Kaylee. I met Marla. You know, Marla. I met Marla through a good guardian. You know, a guardian that I support and that I'll always support. You know, as a result of heritage. You know, I met Marla through heritage. And Marla, yeah, I was on a date, and you know, me and the heritage were having a date with two women. The heritage, whom I fully support, and me dating Marla, you know, for that day. I dated Marla, and you know, I mean, things got very, very fucking heated. You know, I was on some illicit substance which increases the desire for sex and intimacy, and you know, I mean, it wasn't working. You know, I mean, it wasn't working. You know, I was like, I took the illicit substance, and you know, I mean, these things don't work on me. You know, and I was just like, gosh, you know, how do people feel this way, and how do I feel this way? You know, and later in life, I questioned that I must have increased tolerance. And I was just like, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but you know, I have an increased tolerance, and you know, people end up feeling this way, and I end up feeling this way, and it's very fucked up. But yeah, that's not the point. The heritage got what he wanted because the heritage is very hot. You know, the heritage is very fucking hot. You know, the heritage got what he wanted, and you know, years and years and years after, I was like, oh yeah, the heritage. You know, the heritage got what he wanted. And yeah, I was like, yes. I experienced on this day my very first kiss, and the kiss that I experienced was the dreamiest kiss that I have ever experienced, and I've ever observed. I've observed a lot of kisses, but I've only experienced one specific kiss at this point. And this specific kiss was so fucking dreamy. I was like, gosh, your clit must taste super fucking delectable. Like, I don't know how to describe the specific French kiss that I had with Marla. Yeah, it was so fucking delectable. And we met these women at some convenience store. And they were banging. It was so fucking banging. Super fucking banging. The Heritage got this hoe, and I got this beautiful woman in front of me, giving me the best fucking kiss of my fucking life. Super fucking delectable. And I don't know how to describe it, but the way that it felt, the way that her mouth moved, the taste of her saliva, the way that she held me, it all worked together. And that's why it progressed the way that it did. And, I was doing what I was doing, and, I'll leave it to your imagination as to what happened. But, to this day, I still yet persist in thinking about this specific moment, because it's a milestone moment, and she's scorching. She's fucking scorching. I can't even breathe about how scorching she is. But I do what I do. She's a female. She does what she does, and I'm a men's rights activist. Good for her. Good for her. Anyways, Stephanie, Amy, Kaylee, Marla, Carla. All right. Next woman. This woman. Carla. I met this fucking chick, and on the day that work opened, she was wearing something that I was like, damn, are you that much of a hoe? You want it slapped? Is that what you want? What, slapped and hurt? You want to get hurt? I was working, and the managers and the owners were like, oh yeah, we got this many fucking resumes, got a lot of resumes, and the employer was trying to convey to the employees that we got this many resumes. You think you're like this and like this? We got these for you, fuckers. But I was like, I wasn't thinking about that, It mattered to me because I do what I do, and all I was thinking about is like, you want to get slapped? Do you want to get hurt? Or what is it that you want? You're wearing that, and months after, I kept waiting and waiting and waiting, because there was two buildings, and I'm waiting, and there were several distractions, and there was, and I kept waiting, and we end up getting stationed in specific places, and I work, and then she somehow gets stationed, and then I was like, oh yeah, the woman that I might like is working upstairs. She's working upstairs, and I don't know if I like this type of woman, with consideration of the fact of the matter that I've had a bad experience with these types of people. So I go and intrigue her, and she seems to be all right. And I was like, oh, yes, let's go on some dates. Let's go and chill and hang. We go and chill and hang. We have the time of our lives. Super, super unfucking believable. The time of our lives. And all I was like saying was like, fuck y'all. I have feelings. I have feelings and emotions. And I'm just like, fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. That's all I was thinking. It might be fat, but it was the truth. It was the truth. She was hot. She was scorching. She was gorgeous. She happened to be contrary to the things that my experience would be promoting. And I'm just like, I don't know what to say, but I have feelings for her, and we dated and dated and dated, and it didn't end up well. She likely got told this and this, and it didn't work out. I ended up getting dismissed from work. It was very fucking tragic, because when you're the man, when you're just the man, and you're supposed to be supporting the women, and things happen like this, what are you supposed to say? When you're trying to protect and defend what it is that you should be defending and protecting as a man, it didn't work out. So I moved on. We had fun. We had our dates. It was fucked up. I moved on, and I struggled for years and years and years. Thinking about this, and that, and this, and occasionally her. But I'm the man. They shouldn't have removed me from her. Or people shouldn't have said this and this and this about this to get her to choose this instead of me. Whomsoever said that to her, it's on them. And I have clear conscience because I had the right intent. And I'm the man. And I'm the one that should know. And I already told her right from the get-go what the fuck is up. She didn't understand. And she's a female. That's alright. But really, it is the others around her that should have known better. And that's on them. I moved on. Struggled years and years and years and years. Struggled. Part of being a man is struggling and growing and developing thereafter. I became. I enrolled at Kwantlen Polytechnic University, and I persisted in doing the courses that I did. And I was like, oh yeah, midway, I need a BMX Triple X. At that point, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go for a GPA booster. I'm going to register for the LGLA program. So I registered for the LGLA program, and with that, I was like, yes, I'm gonna go for a GPA booster. Next thing I know, on communications class, I was doing what I was doing. And there's some broad. I was like, yeah. Some broad asking questions. She kept asking the instructor questions when I was there, trying to go for a GPA booster, trying to keep my discretion about how discreet I'm trying to be. And I was just like, babe, for what reason do you persist in continuing to ask questions? And that's what I thought, I mean, I'm a political science major, and, yes, I have to be very inclusive of scientific inquiry. Perhaps she could be making an inquiry, and in the discipline of political science, inquiry is very wanted. And I was like, sure, babe, you continue and persist to do what you do. She asked a lot of questions, and I kept getting upset and frustrated, because some of the questions were so fucking stupid. And I was just like, gosh, these questions, question after question after question. And then days and days and days after, we had to do a group project, and I was paired with her and her friend. And her friend was like, whatever, I like her friend, but I was mainly focused on her. And we persisted in doing what we did. The friend was there as some sort of a support, as a mediator for the conflict, that we potentially might experience. So with that, we continued to hang and chill, and we got closer and closer and closer, and I was broke down, and I was just in university, and I was doing what it is that I do, and I was in a good situation. But as soon as I met her, and as soon as I started to realize that, I was like, oh yeah, I have feelings. The friend was like, oh yeah, by the way, Tim, and this and that, are you guys dating? And we both didn't know how to answer, and it was always awkward every time she asked. It was very, very awkward, and I didn't know what to say. She didn't know what to say. We were taken aback both, because there's feelings in between, and when you date like I do, it's very unconventional, and a lot of people don't understand the way that I date. It's very unconventional. But, we were dating. We were really dating, and I was always there to provide her with support, like I do with the women that I love. And she can't even say that I didn't provide her with support, because I'm always there for the women that I love, and it's always like this. Anyways, we persisted and continued to date and date and date. And in this relationship, we argued and argued and debated and debated. She didn't know what the debates were about, and I've been doing this for a long damn time. She didn't know what the debates were about. I do this for a reason, I do it not only because of my best friend in high school, but I do it for other reasons, because I'm educated and have experience and expertise. Further to this, I was researching other women that I like pertaining to social justice, which pertains to the degree that I have. And I started to guide her into the direction, because she was interested in it. It's not like she was like, oh yeah, I'm into social justice, Sam. Why don't you just push me towards it? She was interested in social justice, and she is interested in social justice, and there happens to be a maxim for it. It's not like I was like, oh yeah, babe, you go and do social justice because I'm telling you and saying to you, you go and do it. She literally conveyed to me the information that I needed to determine via critical thinking to make the decision to both collectively go into social justice. And that's what happened with our relationship. And you know what? We argued and argued and argued and debated and debated and debated. She didn't understand the reason for the arguments and the debates. And yes, prima facie, it was about social justice. But in a deeper meaning, it was about me and her. And it was about the sex and intimacy. And yes, she tried to mention the sex convention. And yes, I took off my shirt as a result. And yes, I didn't want for her to provide for me because I'm the man. I'm just the man. And I kept explaining to her. And I do the things that I do because I'm the man. And I'm the one that should be supporting her. As a result of this, as a result of all the foregoing mentioned, after 2 gruesome breakups, we broke up. And here I am today. After women. After my next ex-girlfriend. What am I to say about Stemyrla besides it's a piece of art? And you can go and ask Oxford how the words in English are created. But Stemyrla is a piece of Emily art. The word Stemyrla pork, is for a specific food. But the word Stemyrla is an 1802 Oxford English piece of art based on women. Women. Stemyrla pork is a food of women. And that's why this is an art. That is all that I would like to Emily explain today. But